This is Revii, the fourth reading of our weekly Torah portion, which is Revii, and it's found in Deuteronomy chapter 14, verses 1 through 21, 21 verses. You are the children of the Lord your God. You shall neither cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. Banim atem l'Adonai Elohechem, lo titgodedu v'lo tasimu korcha ben enechem lamet. Ki am kadosh ata l'Adonai Elohecha, uvecha bachar Adonai liot lo la'am segula, mikol ha'amim, asher al pnei ha'adamah. For you are a holy people to the Lord your God, and the Lord has chosen you to be a treasured people for him out of all the nations that are upon the earth. Lo tochel kol to'eva, you shall not eat any abomination. Zot habehema asher tochelu, shor se chisavim v'se izim. These are the animals that you may eat: ox, lamb, and kid. Ayal utzvi v'yachmur v'ako v'dishon ute'o v'zamir. Uto v'zamir. Gazelle, deer, and antelope, ibex, chamois, bison, and giraffe. V'chol behema mafreset parsa v'shosat shesa shte parasot ma'alat gira ubabahema ota tochelu. And every animal that has a split hoof and has a hoof cloven into two hoof sections, and choose the cut among the animals that you may eat. Ach, et ze lo tochelu, mi ma'ale hagira mafrise parsa, hashosua, et hagamal, vet ha'arnevet, vet ha'shafan, ki ma'ale gira hema, uparsa lo hifrisu, teme'im hem lachem. But you shall not eat of these, you shall not eat of those that chew the cud, or of those that have the split hooves, the cloven one, the camel, the hyrax, the hare, for they chew the cud, but they do not have split hooves. They are unclean to you. V'et ha'chazir, ki mafris parsai hu, v'lo gira, tamehu lachem. Bibesaram lo tochelu, uvenivlatam lo tiga'u. And the pig, because it has a split hoof, but does not chew the cud, it is unclean for you. You shall neither eat of the flesh nor touch their carcass. Et ze tochlu mikol asher b'mayim, kol asher lo snapir v'kaskeset tochelu. These you may eat of, all that are in the waters, all that have fins and scales you may eat. V'chol asher ein lo snapir v'kaskeset lo tochelu. Tamehu lachem. But whatever does not have fins and scales you shall not eat. It is unclean for you. Kol tzipor tehora tochelu. You may eat every clean bird. V'zeh asher lo tochelu mehem hanesher ve'aperes ve'hazniya ve'hara'a ve'ta'aya ve'tadaya lemina. Says, but these are those from which you shall not eat: the eagle, or the griffin, vulture, the ossifrage, the osprey. And the white vulture and the black vulture and the kite after its species. And after every raven after its species. Bat hayana, tachmas, shachaf, and the ostrich and the owl and the gull and the hawk after its species. Et hakos, yanshuf, v'hatinshamit, the falcon and the ibis and the bat. V'kaat, v'et harachama, v'et shalach, and the pelican and the magpie and the cormorant. V'achasida, v'anfa, l'mina, v'aduchifat, v'hatalev, and the stork and the heron and its species and the hoopoe and the atalef. I think in modern Hebrew atalef is a bat, but they translated here atalef to just keep it the same sound. They translate bat something else. Tinshamet, they say it's a bat. Anyway, it's hard to know how they came upon these translations anyway. But anyway, kol asher etza'of tamehu lachem lo yu'echelu, and every flying insect is unclean for you. They may not be eaten. V'chol of tohor tochelu, you may eat every clean fowl. Lo tochlu kol nevela lager asher b'sharecha titnena ve'achla o machor lenachri ki am kadosh atcha lenehecha lo tevashel gedi b'chalei b'mo. You shall not eat any carcass. You may give it to the stranger who is in your cities, that he may eat it, or you may sell it to a foreigner. For you are a holy people to the Lord your God. You shall not cook a kid in his mother's milk. Just to comment on this chapter, it's interesting to note that it first starts off with listing livestock and animals would be like considered behema, and it lists several animals like shor, seh, ksavim, etc., sheep, ox, lamb, goat, kid, whatever, and a bunch of others, and it gives the signs and things like that. And then it talks about the chazir, pig, not to eat it. Okay, and then it spends the least amount of time on fish. The fish, it just says anything that's in the water, and it's just a blanket rule, just a general rule, and that's it. Whatever has fins and scales. And doesn't list any types of fish. No types. It just says whatever has fins and scales. And then, when it comes to the birds, it really goes to town on the birds. It not only says twice every clean bird, and at the end of all the listing, it says every clean fowl, oaf. There's a separation between tzipor and oaf. But they list a huge amount of winged animals that fly. Also, when it comes to the insects, they don't list any names of insects. And so, I'm mainly curious about why they didn't list any types of fish that you could eat or could not eat. But the birds, they list mostly the ones you can't eat. It's just interesting why it's chosen that way.